video's about South Park and their mobile game. Freaking dude. I wasn't even allowed to watch South Park when I was a kid, but I still saw some and I freaking knew what it was, but then I wasn't allowed to watch. It was kind of wishy-washy looking back, actually. Questionable parenting. Great show, though. They said the funny bad words, but they were children, and their animation style was unmatched. It was like little Microsoft Paint guys. This is the tale of South Park's most hypocritical episode. I think it's about their mobile games that they probably mocked and then released their own freemium bullshit game. At least I think so. At least I hope so, because that's what I'm here to learn about. This is by Mr. Cow also, by the way, so don't forget about that. This video is by Mr. Cow, just so both streams can see.
South Park. It's a great show. I really love it. There are countless, well, not really countless, you can count them, but there are tons of amazing episodes in the show that are still relevant today. It's one of those rare gems in the world of adult animation that is consistently pretty damn good. It has its moments where it falls off for me. I know some people feel differently, but I overall feel like South Park is doing a pretty good job these days at staying current and staying entertaining. And with a new season on the way, I really hope they can keep that up. I'm genuinely excited for it, which I can't say for many other.
Is that the statue of Litterby? I'm about to shit my pants. Bleep that out, South Park, please.
Running adult animated shows that have crossed the 20 season mark. It really is the only show that has crossed that mark that I'm still actively excited to see new content from, because Trey Parker and Matt Stone know what they're doing. I really love these two as writers, and I really love the shows and movies that they've produced, and I cannot wait for the stuff they make next. Hell, last video
I disagree. Team America? Have you seen that shit? Cringe. I'm from America. That should have been for me. Nope, not my team.
Did on Oh My God, Yes, I used their example on how to write story structure to give constructive criticism to a show that frankly had no story structure. But I gotta say, these two are not perfect. No one is. And I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like everything they've done in their careers is something I approve of or am a fan of. And that's what we're gonna be talking about today. The most hypocritical thing in my eyes that South Park has ever done. Now, this is a story that I have told to friends and I've talked about a lot in my life, and it's just never made it onto the channel because I never bothered to really give the whole topic a chance. What topic is it, you ask? It's freemium mobile games.
Family Guy, the quest for stuff, an all-new game for your mobile devices. Build and customize your very own Quahog. Collect all of your favorite Family Guy characters.
The Simpsons, Tapped Out, a free-to-play game now available on
Oh, yes.
We all know the sort. Those games that have some big IP tied to them to draw players in and get them.
I don't know if I've played most of those because they're all terrible. Building Cities, Snoresville. Hardly a game, dude.
Ooh, there's a Family Guy video game on the App Store, and it's free. I'll give that a try, and then you download it, and you realize you were tricked. These games use big IP to draw you in, usually, and then they have really basic, simple, addictive gameplay to get you started out. But then, they pull the rug out from under you, using the concept of time itself. Freemium mobile games use real-world time requirements to motivate players to spend real-world money on their fake currency in the game to speed up the flow of time. Now, I know that might sound a little confusing if you've never played one of these games, but think of like a base building game. You want to build a new building, it's going to take 12 real-world hours for that building to be built in the game. And that is by design, because if you pay $5, then it only takes 0 hours to build that building, and you can just continue playing the game like
yeah, dude, Rip Tapped Out is no longer freaking available. They nuked it. I did a whole reaction video about that. Freaking click here in the future to watch that. Shameless plug. Also, the clouds came up when these did.
Like you were, even though you just paid $5. That's how freemium games work, and it's not just with base builders. Think of a game that requires a lot of grind. It might be free, sure, but this has also been applied to full-fledged games like Middle-earth: Shadow of War, a game I really loved back in the day that required you to grind to get orcs to add to your army, but in order to speed it up, you could buy loot boxes, and loot boxes are part of this, where they sell you game-altering...
Here's the thing about me, though, is I'm not giving this guy my credit card number. That's just the thing about me. People will vouch that that's always been the thing about me, is that I don't give this guy my credit card number.
Things for real-world money to change how the game works. Freemium games aren't anything new, and their practices can be implemented all across the video game world. And seeing as my real-life job, aside from this channel, is editing for a gaming YouTube channel, I run into annoying shit like this all the time.
Mine
and
too.
I hate games that employ these predatory strategies, because they're not looking to make money off of 90% of players. They're looking at making some money off of 9% of players, and the majority of their money off of 1% of players. The players that get addicted. The players that are the whales, as they're called. Freemium games prey on the weak, the addicted, the vulnerable. They prey on people that don't have enough sense to say, hey, this game isn't even fun. Why am I spending money on it? Oh, that's right. I only kind of enjoy it. And the more I tap the screen, the same amount of dopamine gets released in my brain. And so sure, I'll give you $5, and then $10, and then $20, and then $100. And before you know it, you've spent hundreds of dollars on a mobile game that's really only worth about $1. It's disgusting.
Yeah, they're trying to trick those gambling people into doing something else, like just playing a Simpleman's game that has some gambling elements.
I don't like it, all right? I'm not going to blame the victims of it here. I get how addiction works, all right? And I get that it's not just the game industry that exploits addicts. You can look at the alcohol industry, and all this stuff I'm talking about, this whole description, is all depicted in the season 18...
Yeah, what about the addict exploiting industry? Don't forget about them.
...episode of South Park titled Freemium Isn't Free.
Freemium. The meum is Latin for not really.
This episode of South Park is maybe one of the most perfect ones I've ever seen, because they tackle every single aspect you could think of when it comes to freemium predatory mobile games. First, you have the mobile game itself. It's a Terrence and Phillip Rebuild Canada mobile game, where you're building bases and stuff like that, and you're tapping on the screen.
Bro, it literally looks like freaking Simpsons Tapped Out, dude. Or Quahog? I can't tell. I need more graphics, Philip.
And getting coins. Terrence and Philip are a big IP, so all the kids are excited about it. When the kids see it and start playing it, they realize how crappy it is and they all put it down, except for the whale, who is Stan in this episode, who immediately gets addicted to it and starts spending way too much money. This episode also does a great job of comparing the freemium games industry to other industries that exploit addicts for profit, like the alcohol industry. And there's a lot of great jokes with Randy when he's scolding Stan for spending way too much money on mobile games. Meanwhile, he's spending tons of money on alcohol and is constantly drinking throughout the episode. It's
Randy!
just great.
I don't know how you can say that when you're standing here chugging beer.
I am not chugging beer. I'm sampling a flight of gluten-free German lagers with a French wine pairing. It's called a smorgaswein, and it's elegantly cultural.
Yeah, that is way less cool. You should drink beer.
This episode is really
What the
South Park
fuck?
at its best, and the little cherry on top of
What a
this
psycho.
Freemium Isn't Free episode is the fact that South Park's creators, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, sort of put their money where their mouths were at. They make this episode poking fun and denouncing this area of the games industry with freemium games and taking advantage of addicts, and then in the same year, in 2014, the year this episode released, they released their own South Park video game. And it is no joke, one of my favorite games of all time. Now, to be completely fair, South Park
this freaking stick of truth? That's not a freemium game, though. How could that be hypocritical, Mr. Video Man? Tell me. I thought he was going to say they built the freaking base builder.
The Truth released a
Talking
handful of
about
months before
Torture
the Freemium
Simulator.
Isn't Free episode came out, because of course the game was being promoted with the previous season episodes about the console wars and the Game of Thrones parody and all that stuff. But even
I
though
never played this game. Is it epic?
the game came out before this episode and not after, I still think it works as sort of a 1-2 punch. They complement each other a lot. You have the creators of South Park releasing a game that is genuinely great, and then you have them making an episode denouncing a practice in the gaming industry that is genuinely terrible. It's just perfect. So now I'm sure you're wondering, Mr. Cow, where does the hypocrisy come into all of this?
Mr.
So far, this all
Cow.
seems great. You're right about that. This is about as good as it gets. This is South Park at its very best. But 3 years after the Freemium Isn't Free episode released, South Park decided to do something incredibly stupid. They released their very own freemium mobile game called South Park Phone Destroyer. Now, when I first...
That's the one I was thinking of, dude. I freaking forgot the silly name. Also doesn't help that I've never touched the thing, but... Dude, Phone Destroyer? People like that one, right? It's like a card game or some
after
shit.
the Freemium Isn't Free episode released, South Park decided to do
It
something...
is a direct contradiction, though. Probably. I don't know. I haven't seen the episode.
They released their very own freemium mobile game called South Park Phone Destroyer. Now, when I first came across this
Turns
game...
out, I hate South Park.
I was about 16
Just
years
kidding.
old or so. I was already a fan of South Park. I had seen the Freemium Isn't Free episode, and I was very, very confused. I did not know why they were making it, and I thought, oh, it must be like a trick or something. It must be like a joke. It's not really a freemium mobile game. Maybe it's like a tie-in to the Stick of Truth, which I was kind of right about. There is a lot of great South Park humor in this mobile game. Not a ton.
It's called cynicism, my friend.
But, you know, some at least to make it stand out on its own. There's little cutscenes and things like that. The theming is definitely on brand. But at the end of the day, this is exactly the kind of thing they were denouncing in the Freemium Isn't Free episode. I don't care how tongue-in-cheek it is. I don't care how the game is all based around like, oh, isn't it funny how the kids of South Park, the plot of the game is they want the new kid, you, the player, to spend money on the game so that they can make money, even though it's a
No,
free game. You don't have
that's
to
not
spend
funny.
money, but you can. That's the joke. Isn't it funny? And
No. Spending money is not funny.
yes, I'll admit, it is kind of
What up,
funny. It's a really
BFJ?
creative premise for a freemium mobile
Good
game. But at the end of
afternoon.
the day, it's still a freemium mobile game. It's still exploiting
Evening.
vulnerable people by creating a game with an incredibly simple gameplay loop that is not fun,
It's
and then driving
carded.
them to spend money on it to make it more
Oh, it makes me want to try the game now, dude. Maybe I will after this. Freaking, has anyone played Phone Destroyer in the chat? Let me know.
fun. It's the exact same
W
thing.
or
Now, I'm
L
not here just
game.
to talk about this game, okay? I did actually go out of my way to try it. I played it for 2 hours, and I did a lot of research. I was trying to
Loomis
find
is
out
good.
how much money people usually spent on it. I was trying to find out how much time it took to beat the main story of the game, and it's really inconsistent. However, I did
Somewhere.
discover that the game has 3 separate endings depending on how much money you spent in the game. If you spent no money, you get this ending.
Let's see what your contribution to our game has been.
Fuck you!
That's not cool. People worked really hard on this game. Jeez, what a dirty trick the new kid played on us. I told you guys we'd get fucked going freemium.
And
What?
then if you spent anywhere from 99
He can
cents
say
to,
that?
I believe it's $30.
What a
it's
charming
little
idea
unclear.
for a
I've heard reports of it
show. I thought it was for babies, but he said the fuck word.
costing as much as $50 for the final ending, but we'll get to that. If you spend $1 or so, you'll get this ending.
Huh, okay, I guess that's what the new kid thought this game was worth. What can we buy with that? Maybe like a puzzle or something? Told you we should have just charged them money before playing the game like in the olden days.
And then if you spent anywhere from $30 to $50, I even saw some people saying this ending was only possible if you spent $65. There's no concrete number, but it seems like 30 is about the threshold. So grain of salt with that information. But if you spend enough money, just using that term, you'll get this ending.
Holy shit, dude, what a contribution! Yeah! Wow, thanks, new kid. Yeah, now we can keep playing forever.
No problem,
Hey,
guys.
someone about mobile game addiction. Yay!
I don't care how tongue-in-cheek it is, or ironic it
Hold on, slow it down. What did he say about mobile game erection?
Holy shit, dude, what a contribution! Yeah! Wow, thanks, new kid. Yeah, now we can keep playing forever. Yeah, and you might want to see someone about mobile game addiction.
I don't think I will.
I don't care how tongue-in-cheek it is or ironic it is. This is incredibly hypocritical to make an episode talking about all the dangers of the disgusting world of freemium mobile games.
Yeah, it also seems pretty phoned in and not that funny.
Then 3 years later, release a freemium mobile game that is still on the market today, still preying on people with addiction problems. There are no other words for that than gross and hypocritical. Unless, of course, you have a thesaurus, in which case you could probably find a lot of other words to describe this, none of which would be good. Because this game isn't fun. It has all the same problems of these other freemium mobile games. This is a deck building game, so if you want the best deck, if you want to have one that works well in the campaign, or especially in PvP, which is something they force you to do to continue playing the campaign at certain parts, then you have to either grind a whole bunch or get the best cards from packs, which you have to use in-game currency for.
Why do they keep texting your ass?
That is hard to get without grinding. So you can grind it out, or you can just pay for it. They're doing the thing that they said was bad in the thing that we're talking about. I mean, what more can I say, honestly, at this point? It is just incredibly disappointing to see the creators of South Park greenlight this and go for this after making this episode. It is so lame, and so stupid, and I feel like it
JK, I don't care.
cheapens what should have been one of the better episodes of South Park, in my opinion, because these freemium mobile games are everywhere. The whole thing that motivated me to make this video was seeing an ad on Twitter for a The Office mobile game. That's right.
If they were gonna freaking do this, they should have just released Terrence and Phillips' freemium bullshit game and owned it like Rick and Morty did. I think they literally did that. Didn't they release Jerry's game, which was featured in an episode, and it was supposed to just be like an idiot game? And then they made their freemium stuff after, which was actually not the worst, because they did like a Pokemon ripoff thing. It was still freemium, though.
Right. A The Office mobile game.
The South Park one just seemed pretty uninspired, and it probably was, because the episode would lead you to believe that nobody who made South Park good cared about mobile games, so yeah, it probably was just a phoned-in project to make some quick money, and it's literally just for that. No one else is gonna play it, probably.
How fucking stupid is that?
Only the whales!
This is so stupid.
And that is why, my lovely viewers, I think that this is the most
Stick of Truth is pretty good.
hypocritical thing South Park has ever done. If you disagree with me, if there's a different example, please let me know down in the comment section below. I'd love to do another video like this. I'm always down to check out some quality episodes of South Park.
Yeah, The Office does have a mobile app game. Did they have an episode about that too?
And I'm pretty sure even if an episode winds up being hypocritical in some way, like this one, it's still probably a good episode. It's only when you step back and you see the whole picture that the hypocrisy becomes so apparent.
I'm gonna watch the episode while I play the game at the same time, goddammit, and I'm not gonna care a bit.
The lesson we've all learned here today is do not trust any mobile game on the App Store that says it is free and is tied to a popular IP, because it is most likely a predatory freemium game. And you never know. If you haven't tried one of these games, don't do it. If you have an addictive personality, you might not be able to stop yourself, and you could wind up losing a lot of money to something as stupid as a mobile video game. I know it's...
Alright, I don't think that anyone's gonna put themselves into financial ruins necessarily watching Peter Guy build a house in 2025. It's not really as enticing as it used to be. I think our wallets are safe, but who knows? You might be right.
We have fun, but I've known people that have struggled with this shit before. I know of people that are currently struggling with this shit online. There are lots of them that are readily apparent that you can see that are just struggling with this, and you feel bad for them, but at the same time, they are the ones that made the choice to download it. They're the ones making the choice to spend the money, and you gotta protect yourself. So don't engage with it. If you want to play a game that is really good and tied to an adult animated IP, please, for the love of God, play the Stick of Truth. It is $7.50 right now. That's a ridiculous...
That is not how much it is. Not even on the screen.
Ridiculous deal. And what's especially great about the Stick of Truth is it does not get old. I have played that game once a year for the last, I don't know, 7 years at this point, and I have...
Oh yeah, no problem. I'll buy it for all of us.
Fun every single time.
You can borrow it when I'm done with it.
It's like an old movie that you love, except it's a video game. That's how good the Stick of Truth is. So play that. Don't play freemium mobile games. And remember, nobody's perfect. I still love the creators of South Park, Matt Stone and Trey Parker. I think that they're...
Why don't you marry a man? Seriously. Just kidding. Don't do that. They're probably already married. Mr. Cow, this was a good video on a niche subject that I appreciate. Good job making it. I hope I did a good job reacting to it. I hope all of you thought I was a good boy.